Welcome to class. I am the Techie Dude from Fiscus Infotech Solutions. In this lesson, we shall be looking at spreadsheet audit, or you can refer to it as formula audit in Microsoft Excel. Whether you are creating a new spreadsheet-based model or inheriting a complex Excel file, the ability to audit a spreadsheet effectively is a useful skill for ensuring the data needed for decision making is reliable. Formula auditing helps us to mitigate the risk of errors, make data processes more robust and reliable, understand exactly the nature of resources available. Well, simply put, spreadsheet audits are designed to ensure a spreadsheet performs as expected. Open before us is a spreadsheet containing several data. It has the item that makes up the system unit and the cost, and we have the total cost. Right below, we have a complete desktop computer, the cost, and the item required, and the total cost. So we want to see how each of these figures were arrived at, assuming we are working on this spreadsheet for the first time. We can check this by using the formula auditing tool in Microsoft Excel, which enables us to trace precedent. If you hover your mouse, you will see the tooltip shows arrows that indicate which cells affect the value of the currently selected cell, while the pendant shows arrows that indicate which cells are affected by the value of the currently selected cell. So, assuming we are working for the first time on this spreadsheet, so we want to say mouse here, does it have a precedence or a dependence? Precedent command requires that the active cell contain a formula which includes valid reference. So the mouse does not actually have a precedent, so it was entered straight into that cell. Let's see if it has a dependence. So select the cell also again and say dependence. Look at that arrow. You said, oh, this figure has a dependence, and that dependent is on this table right below. Now the mouse figure here depends on that. So that means if there is any alteration in the mouse figure right on the item cost table, it will affect the figure. Let's change the figure here. Let's change it to 7,700 and enter it. Look at what has happened. You can see 77,000. It automatically affects the figure that depends on it here. This tool is very necessary when we are working with complex spreadsheets that we don't know how they arrived at certain figures. So it is good to do formula auditing to know where a figure is coming from, which cell depend on the other, and which one is a precedent to the other. So you can see how the figures has changed in the mouse. Let's check the next one, keyboard. Then let's check if it has a dependence. Look at it, it does have a dependence also. That means the figure on this table below depends on that cell. The same with the monitor. So we can now see where those figures are coming from in the complete desktop computer cost, the item cost there. They are actually coming from a table located right up here. Then what of the system unit? Does it have any dependence or precedent? Oh, it has a precedent. The other one had dependence, but here we have the one that has a precedent. The system unit has a precedent, and the precedent is located on the table system unit. It's located in this table system units, and you can see it depends on this. So let's audit this table. We have successfully audited the item cost table. We can see cells that has dependence and cell that has precedence. The cell that contains the mouse, keyboard, and monitor has dependence in the complete desktop computer table right below here, while the system unit has a precedence in the system unit table here. Now, the next thing we do is to audit the system unit table. We select the cell containing a figure and check if it has a precedent. Oh, it does not have a precedent. Does it have a dependent? Let us check. Wow, it has a dependence. You can see it means that this total figure of the system unit depends on the amount entered in the RAM. It has a dependence. So if we alter like we did before, the figure here, it will affect the total of the system unit. So let's return it back to what it used to be. So let's check the next cell. Does it have a dependence? The next cell too is dependent on the total value of the system unit. The same applies to all the items in that list, all the items in this list. So we can see the system unit, the list of the item there depends, the total figure depends on the list of the item there. So if we alter any of the figures, it will affect the total that is listed here. Now let us audit a complete desktop computer table here. If we check this figure, does it have a precedent? Does it have a dependent? Look at it. It has a dependent. It depends on the total figure here, depends on the mouse. The same with this. The same with the monitor and the system unit. What of the total? Does it have a precedent? Oh, it is getting clustered. So when it gets clustered like this, we can remove the arrows. Let us do that. I'm going to click on remove arrows. Right in the formula auditing menu here, remove arrows. You can see all the arrows are gone. Let us audit a complete desktop computer table. We check the next cell, the next cell, and they all have the total as their dependents. So let's check the total. Does it have a dependence? No. The trace dependent command found no formula that refers to the active cell. So there is no formula anywhere that refers to this cell total here. Does it have a precedent? Let us check. Look at it, has a whole lot of precedence. For us to have arrived at this total, you can see it has the whole of the item here as a precedent, and it has the whole of the item in the item cost table as a precedent. So you can see how this auditing is helping us to check where particular data is coming from. To remove the arrows, we can just click remove arrows. Also, we can check the formulas that are used on the spreadsheet. So I go to the formula auditing, just click on show formulas. You will see the formulas that are used in the tables. Let's scroll down. You can see the complete desktop computer table has a whole lot of formulas there. All the items there are actually a formula. And the same with the system unit, we can see the formulas that are right there. So let's remove the formula and go back to the table. Formula auditing is a very important tool that you need to get used to. Try to practice some other examples on this lesson. See you in the next lesson. Thank you for watching. If this lesson has really helped, please click the like button and remember to subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to click the notification button to get updates on latest tutorials. If there are also lessons you will want to be treated, please indicate in the comment section below. See you in the next lesson.